The Venezuelan crisis is moving relentlessly from catastrophic to unimaginable. The level of misery, hunger, human suffering, and economic destruction has reached a point where the international community must rethink how it can help. Many observers had believed that as Venezuela's economy worsened, Nicolás Maduro's government would just lose power. Instead, the government has become stronger. It has illegally installed a constituent assembly with full powers. It has deregistered opposition parties. It has sacked elected officials, and it has stolen 3 elections in just 2017 alone. The best scenario to get out of this mess would obviously be free and fair elections to choose a new government. This is Plan A for the Venezuelan opposition, organized around an organization called La Mesa de la Unidad Democrática, and is being sought in talks taking place right now in the Dominican Republic. But it defies credulity to think that a regime that is willing to starve millions of people to remain in power would yield to the ballot. A second alternative would be a domestic military coup, which is obviously less palatable. It is extremely unlikely because the armed forces have been thoroughly corrupted by the regime. A third alternative is these targeted sanctions that have been put on the table and are being implemented. These work slowly at best in comparison to the dramatic collapse of the Venezuelan economy. And sometimes they don't work at all, as in the cases of Cuba, North Korea, Iran. So that leaves this uncomfortable theme of international military intervention. That obviously scares most Latin American countries, especially in Mexico and Central America, which have frequently been on the receiving end of these unwanted military interventions. But these may be the wrong historical analogies. After all, Simón Bolívar became the liberator of Venezuela thanks to invasions he organized with the support of the Nueva Granadans of those days, Jamaica, Haiti, and the UK. So as solutions go, it is time to consider things outside of the box. So here's one. The National Assembly, which was elected with a 2/3 opposition majority in elections that were unfair but still they won, could take its majority to impeach President Maduro and appoint a new government, which could then request military assistance to restore the constitution. This coalition of countries, which could include Latin American countries, the US and Canada, European countries, would be a force that would help free Venezuela in the same way as Canadians, Australians, and Brits liberated Western Europe in 1944-45 with US help, and in the same way the international community has acted on Bosnia and Kosovo. None of this would require approval by the United Nations Security Council because the military force would be invited by a legitimate government seeking support to uphold the country's own constitution. The existence of such an option, just the existence of such an option, might even boost the prospects of other alternatives like the negotiations taking place in the Dominican Republic. It's clear that an imploding Venezuela is in nobody's interest, and conditions in that country constitute a crime against humanity that must be stopped on moral grounds. As the world debates the best way forward, there's only one question that remains. How many lives must be shattered before a solution comes?